You know, the other week I had tons of fun revisiting the video where we discussed Digimon that belong in other Digivolution lines. So, with hitting 40,000 subscribers, 40,000 of you, we have 10 times the subscribers we had this time 2 years ago. Insane. Thank you all so much. So I've been going down history road in my mind and trying to think about what are the videos from the channel's past that I'd love to give a part 2 to. Part 2 to.
I don't know what's wrong with you.
And whether you think it's a fun idea or money for old rope, join me today as I list 10 more Digimon pairs who deserve DNA Digivolutions.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to another video. And yes, some more Digimon that I think deserve DNA, Jogress, fusion, whatever permutation or style of merged Digivolution you want to call it or you want to pick, where you take two of your characters and smash them together like action men. That's what I'm looking at today. Two Digimon that deserve to be together in Digivolution, you freaks. Also, I did curate some of these picks that I really liked from comments on the last video and one from Twitter, so make sure you stick around to the end of this video to see if your comment got picked. And first up is a silly one, I'll be honest, but one that I think would be hilarious is if Frontier ever got a movie, manga or something of the sort, and gave Bokomon and Nemon a DNA Digivolution. These two companions never even digivolved in Frontier canon, but have in other media, kind of. So while yes, giving them full lines would be more traditional, I think it would be even better if Bokomon and Nemon went full fat Gotenks in a silly fusion. I watched Dragon Ball Superheroes the other week, and it's the only Dragon Ball thing that I've watched in about 15 years, so I'm basically a DBZ expert now, guys, so expect a lot more references in these videos. But anyway, just seeing Bokomon and Nemon think they're gonna DNA Digivolve to some incredible new form, and it just be something completely goofy like Fat Gotenks, would be so funny to watch. Alright, now moving over to something that is still a little bit comedic, but potentially could be amazing, would be Etamon and Volcamon's DNA Digivolution. These two troublemakers are both often depicted with microphones, and indeed are both based on Digimon staff members. Etamon is based on Digimonkey from Shonen Jump, and Volcamon is of course based on Volcano Ota, the long-standing Digimon creative team member. In fact, Etamon and Volcamon even got to share the limelight in an episode of Digimon Adventure 2020. So why not combine those two attention hogs into a rap superstar Digimon? For a while now, I've loved the idea of expanding on the Volcano Ota lore of Digimon, so just the more Volcamons we can get, the better. Alrighty then, one that I think many people have wanted before, and that is a DNA Digivolution of Wizardmon and Witchmon, to become some kind of Witchelney Sorcerer Supreme. In general, while Witchelney is getting a little bit more of a spotlight in Digimon in recent years, the world of magical witches still hasn't been given its full own exploration in Digimon. By the way, I actually did a video on magical witches and the whole Witchelney Digimon connection back in October. The card is on screen right now if you want to go check that out. Maybe watch this video first and then go check it out. Thanks. For me, I think this would have to be some kind of very unique looking magical Digimon, and maybe even becoming as powerful as a mega level Digimon to rival Hexablaumon. In my mind, I'm seeing a kind of Witchelney movie for Digimon in which, nice, Wizardmon and Witchmon have to work together to become a powerful magic user and unite the different elements of Witchelney. I think the main challenge would really be making something that felt unique from Wisemon or Mistymon, so perhaps it could even be a Digimon with control over time, akin to something like Time Star Magician from Yu-Gi-Oh! Damn, maybe I should do a video about Yu-Gi-Oh! Monsters that would make great Digivolutions for Digimon.
Next time, baby.
So I've talked a bunch about armor Digivolutions evolving further, and even the idea of mixing Digi-Eggs, so friendship plus courage equaling a new form like Sagittariumon, which I guess leads me to my next question. Where's the Magnamon and Rapidmon Jogress at? Given 02 gave us Pyldramon, Sylphimon, and Shakuamon in addition to armors, I think it would have been a kind of next level form to see the Golden Armor Digimon from Hurricane Touchdown go one step beyond to become a Jogress or DNA Golden Armor Digimon. Would it be nutty? Yes. Would it probably be a giant mess? Even bigger, yes, but with Digimon Adventure 02 the beginning on the horizon, we still technically have time for Willis and Golden Rapidmon to show up one last time in 02 media to DNA Digivolve with Magnamon to create, Ragnamon? Yo! Okay, and next up is a suggestion by DigiDestined level channel member RecBCQ, who hit me up on Twitter to say,
Hear me out. And I'll force feed Dramon / or Greymon Jogress to reflect the anime and manga versions of Taichi.
Yep, agreed. In fact, I think we should go even further. We should have Into the Taichi-verse, the V-Tamer, Adventure 99, Adventure 2020, fuck it, the Adventure PSP Taichi. All their Digimon, Jogress, Fuse, DNA, whatever you want to call it, into the goddamn blob from FNAF Security Breach. Sorry, I'm back. I got a little bit too juiced up on what if energy. But no, joking aside, I do actually think this would be such a fun thing to do, and honestly, kinda what I expected to see in the V-Tamer Adventure 2020 crossover one-shot manga, New Courage. So maybe one day our Blue Dragon and our Orange Dino will combine to make the ultimate Royal Knight or something. Another pair of Digimon that have never really fused together and has always felt a little weird to me is Jesmon and Gankumon. They are a master and apprentice pair, but they've never DNA Digivolved, and what's extra weird is we actually do have the power of Jesmon X and Gankumon X becoming Jesmon GX, but no default Jesmon and Gankumon Jogress feels like a strange omission to me, and also, like, Jesmon GX is fine and everything, but it feels more like an Mega Shoutmon or Imperialdramon Paladin mode kind of thing, rather than, you know, an Omnimon, Chaosmon, Pyldramon situation, you know? I just want to see a fuse form with, like, 9 pairs of Getter that it uses as weapons just to beat people over the head with its shoes. Okay, now what about 2 Digimon that are literally counterparts of each other and yet technically have never really DNA Digivolved? Yes, I'm talking about Bielstarmon and Beelzemon. Bielstarmon's lore is intrinsically tied into Beelzemon. Her reference book states she is a Digimon that splendidly manipulates twin pistols and also is called the Beelzebubmon Lady. So, like, where's their Mastemon equivalent at? No. And when I say Mastemon equivalent, I don't just mean that I want to see Beelzemon and Bielstarmon kiss. You're being crazy right now. My Twitter handle is @Karn_EX, by the way. But, like, definitely don't draw pictures of Beelzemon and Bielstarmon kissing and at me with them. I'd hate that. Anyways, someone's gonna actually me on this, so technically Beelzemon and Bielstarmon can actually become Beelzemon Blast mode together on the Pendulum 20th, which is great, I guess, to have some kind of VPET connection between the two, but it's not enough. Give me a Petite Mammon that split and become an individual Beelzemon and Bielstarmon before finally fusing together to become the ultimate outlaw cowboy demon royalty I shall dub Beelzebos. Alright, maybe that needs more time at the drawing board and I need to listen to less Tenacious D. Okay, next up is a suggestion by Neo Solitude X Evermore, who said they wanted to see the rest of the Olympus 12 get DNA Digivolutions. And, like, yeah, 100%, I agree too. Grace Novamon, the combination of Dianamon and Apollomon, is one of my absolute favourite Digimon of all time, so seeing more Digimon like it, a complete dream. Of course, the first most obvious pairing that comes to mind is Junamon and Jupitermon, as they are lovers in their Digimon canon. From there, it really depends on what themes you're most excited for, but I would personally team up Venusmon and Volcanusmon, as their Greek basis Aphrodite and Hephaestus were married in mythology. Minervamon and Neptunemon, as Athena and Poseidon vied for control of Athens, so they'd make for a fun Chaosmon-esque rivalry fusion. Bacchusmon and Ceresmon would then be linked, as their Greek equivalents Demeter and Dionysus are gods which are most connected to the earth. Demeter is the goddess of the corn, and Dionysus is the god of wine. So the two gods kind of represent nature itself, and then finally would be Marsmon and Mercurymon, aka Aries and Hermes, who are siblings in Greek myth and feature regularly in each other's stories. Side note, in a previous video, we based a Digimon on Zeus and called it Zeusmon. And a lot of people were like, well, Jupitermon already exists. Is Jupitermon called Zeusmon? No, he's called Jupitermon. Can we not have Kawagamon because Kabuterimon exists? Man fights his comments in unrelated video. And our penultimate pick comes from Cornicle246 and longtime channel supporter Night12. And that is of course Ogremon and Leomon. This one's mad to me. Their rivalry is over 20 years old at this point. Throughout multiple Digimon media, even Chaosmon is comprised of a Leomon variant in Bancho Leomon, but Darkdramon is the other half, as it has hatred of Banchos. God damn it. This combination could take part in many different ways. Leomon and Ogremon themselves, Saber Leomon and Titamon, hell, maybe even like Grap Leomon and Rebellimon now? Ooh, fun. I also really like this piece from Derek Art, showing what the Ogremon and Leomon DNA Digivolution might look like. Definitely a fun take on this combo's potential. And finally is one that I have wanted for a good few years now since we saw Volt Bautamon in Digimon World Next Order, and that is other DNA Digivolutions for the Dark Masters from Adventure and other Adventure antagonists. exists. Piedmon and Myotismon becoming a creepy undead pirate is absolutely inspired, and so for me, I could see Puppetmon and Etamon, hey, welcome back to the video, Etamon, becoming a form evocative of something like Mokujin from Tekken, a disturbing Pinocchio-feeling Digimon, perhaps that moves at intense speeds across the landscape. I'd also want to factor in like Etamon's performance side of him with his microphone and stuff, so maybe it's some kind of like Mokujin rock star. I don't know, that one I want you guys to elaborate on in the comments. I'm sure someone's got a great idea for their fusion. Then Metal Seedramon and perhaps Datamon. It's one of the more unique and memorable villains of adventure, despite getting less screen time than Etamon and Myotismon, and is more visually unique than a lot of Digimon, so I think it has a lot of fun potential with Metal Seedramon. Combining the Metal Sea Dragon and a living computer, I think could give us a kind of computer cable Hydra of some kind, made up of USB cables and power cords and stuff, like a Net Ocean version of Hydramon or Orochimon. And then finally would be Machinedramon with Devimon, which could produce something honestly probably similar to Millenniummon, but instead maybe we could go the direction of a kind of super evil Justimon equivalent, like an evil dragon-themed Kamen Rider that uses Machine Empire tools, maybe evoking vibes like Kamen Rider Knight from Ryuki. Anyway, those are mine and some of your picks for DNA Digivolutions that we need to see in the Digimon franchise. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below on this video or any of my videos letting me know your thoughts and ideas, because you may get featured in a future video. This was a ton of fun to put together, so huge shout outs to my sovereign ZDK14, as well as everyone else who supports this channel with their hard-earned money. You can see them on screen right now. Check out the video below me because it's one that YouTube, believe it or not, knows that you will like the best. It has read your mind like Psycho Mantis and knows that you will like this video from my channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time when we go digital. Bye bye.